Hello everybody, Manathrall here. Welcome to the weekly update video for OSRS. This week I do have a little bit of a co-host right here next to me, but we'll get through this if she stops trying to chew on the mouse. We do have the Christmas event for 2025, which is Christmas Din-Dins. There is a cold fix that is to be out. They're aware that the fountain is filled with unfortunate yellow water. Something tells me that probably has to do with something with the holiday event, but yet again, maybe not. So the Christmas event is here. You can speak to the Cook the Blue Moon Inn to start the event. Added festive rewards for completing the event, including community design Christmas jumper. There is some sailing fixes and tweaks, such as group irons can now use facilities of their group memberships, regardless of whether or not they built the facility themselves, so long as they have the same or have the sailing level required. The Bone Crusher and Bone Crusher necklace now work for sailing creatures who drop bones. Resetting Gwyneth Glide trial while going through the teleport portal will no longer break the trial. When quick transporting your boat, for example, by recovering via the shipwright or using a boat spell, players will now only lose port task cargo, bounty items, salvage, and fish from their cargo hold. Anything else will be kept and accessible once your ship has recovered. The cargo hold will no longer delete your diving apparatus or crowbar until you have the requirements to retrieve them again. Cargo crates are now confiscated immediately when you teleport while carrying them. The collection log now updates correctly when receiving dragon cannonballs from the opulent salvage. The start the boat when setting ahead option now works more reliably for players whose crewmates were already controlling the helm when they boarded the boat. Gull and Soup will no longer consume entire stacks of Karamwanji when fed. Their hunger is sated for now. Added the option to disable teleport warnings while on a boat. If you attempt to teleport while you're on a boat, you'll be given an option to cancel it, proceed with it and not ask again. If you choose the latter, you will no longer receive a teleport warning while on the boat. If you wish to, you can re-enable this via the settings menu, which you can find under warnings/sailing warnings. Fix an animation glitch that occurs when metamorphing Gull or Gulliver during the emote. Non-alchemical items can no longer be fed to the giant clam. The following sailing activities can now be boosted. All sea charting types, including the generic charting activities, current duck, drink crates, mermaid dives, spyglass, including speaking with Charlton Charles McAtlas, weather trolls, both building and using cannons on the boat, updated the requirement Met filter for the sea charting interface to include quest requirements. The blast furnace no longer allows players to fill it completely with nickel ore, as smelting requires space to add copper as well. If you've already got this problem, select the check option on the blast furnace melting pot. This will allow you to empty the furnace. When sailing launched, they enabled us to be able to dismantle the combined versions of the Max Cape. Now Mac can do this too. So for example, if you set an Infernal Max Cape back to Mac, you'll receive an Infernal Cape as well as the coins. Added the Swamp Tart to the Pygmy Kraken drop table. The correct icon now displays upon showing the holy sheet to the High Priest. Testing the currents south of the Pestfield Island and the Void Knight Outpost, now correctly listed under Simeon C. Fix a speed-related typo in the port task board. The NPC Ross now refers to the mithril helm rather than the mahogany one when she gives tips about the jubbly jive. Other changes fix the issue causing player characters' feet to clip into terrain due to the switch to Z buffering rendering. Fairy Ring scroll bar now works correctly when using the search function. Likewise, when using the Fairy Ring search function and pressing enter, you can now view the search results list as intended. In addition, when you interact with the Fairy Ring in the search box, will now automatically open, letting you type immediately. Juna's chat head no longer appears in place of yours when you tell her stories of certain adventures. PvP Rhoda and world changes. So PvP Rhoda has moved to period A, 539 US, PvP 318 UK Bounty Hunter, 548 Germany High Risk PvP, 577 US Free to Play PvP, 559 UK LMS Competitive. World's 390 AUS LMS Competitive and 569 AUS Bounty Hunter have been activated with this Rhoda, and the PvP Zerker loadouts and rank tools and tournaments this week. Additionally, the launching of Sailing, they opened a few extra temporary worlds to deal with the influx of players expected from such a launch. So now everything is settled. They'll be moving some of the following worlds. I'm not going to go over all of them because it's quite a few. It's about 5 in each, except for the AUS. But all it is just going back down to normal. This way, the worlds are still pretty full, so I'm sure people won't be too overly worried. However, if you are looking for a little bit more information on the Christmas event, here you are. The Christmas event does start in the very back of the Blue Moon Tavern, as you can see here. So just head over to Varrock and get going. You do have the lovely jubbly bib Christmas dinner and beer belly sweater. Pretty cool. There is a jumper which looks like a Jad jumper, which looks pretty cool. So you can really Jad out if you really want to. I know that was horrible. Also, on December 11th at 4 p.m. UTC, there's going to be a live stream. They're going to be doing a festive pub crawl with Jolly Vibes, so everybody can meet them in the Blue Moon Inn, World 520 at 4 p.m. UTC. That is actually it though for this week. Pretty cool week. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later, guys.